Hey there, I hope that you're doing good. Today we're channeling. We're just channeling messages as they come because this is what's needed, so we're just going with it. And whoever finds this video, that's for you, okay? Like the context this video comes in is that, well, you're well aware that we're going through a massive transition as a collective. There are huge energies when it comes to ascension. There's all of those who are interested in the Schumann resonance know that it's been a ride. It's been a whole thing, and it keeps on being a thing. And there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of healing going on collectively, and that's quite intense, super interesting, especially as we are nearing more and more the Lion's Gate on the 8th of August. So there's a lot going on, and yeah, there's just messages coming on in this context. So we're getting into that. We're getting into that. Yeah, first of all is like, just understand that you're not alone in this. Yes, it feels chaotic in the best way possible, but also very intense because we're dealing with some of our worst fears. We're growing through our worst fears. We're going beyond our limitations, and that means exactly that. Going beyond the limitations, going past the fears, going past the thing that terrifies you, that keeps you awake at night, going past the nightmare, getting to know the nightmare. And that's the kind of energy we're in right now. It's intense. So first of all, first message is like, understand you're not alone, that you're not crazy. This is a very sacred process, and just the fact that you're showing up to it says a lot about who you are, says a lot about where your heart stands, and says a lot about whether you choose your heart or your mind, whether you choose love or fear on a daily basis. So that is something to be proud of, Yeah, the cards are out. It's a particularly triggering theme that we're working with, so that is exciting. But yeah, trigger warnings. Like, a lot of the work has been focused for the collective on love and opening up to love and opening up the heart and learning what is love, and that has led us into studying a lot what was our relationship to love, especially what was our relationship with our parents and the interpersonal dynamics. Basically, that's just something that we've been working on a lot, which has opened us to realize, hey, love isn't something to be chased. It's something that is within you, that is everywhere. It's in the air. Everything is made of love. And it's not a thing of you trying to create the love. It's never been this way. It's you opening up so as to open your eyes and realize that it's always been all along, everywhere around you, within you. There's nothing to be created. It's just here getting unveiled. That's something we've been working on collectively. And now we're getting into much more fascinating topic, which is one which is much more triggering because the wounds around it tend to be way more heavy on the nervous system, the human body, and that is abundance. It's like, and that's the funny thing that you find in spiritual communities too, is like working on wounds around love. That's the thing. Working on wounds around money, that's a whole other thing. That's on a whole other level, because of how much darker it seemingly can get, because of the fact that every time that you go a trauma relative to this topic, it tends to be way more severe because our nervous system isn't equipped to be dealing with these kinds of fears around survival. That's why it freaks us out much more than it would. But this is very much what is coming up. So themes around money and abundance and stability and safety also, it's all coming back up. And that's why it can feel intense, because that is just showing us our whole history around this topic. And another thing I feel is because there's a lot of, it feels hidden. So the spirit is just like bringing our attention. We're just gonna I just feel like we're going to be unfolding some codes here, and we're gonna see, I just feel like everyone's gonna be resonating with something or another. So we're just gonna be like opening up the whole book, exploring the whole codes, and that will be the activation in and of itself. And that deals with connection at heart. at the heart of the matter is the connection, whether you are connected or whether you've stepped into the illusion of separation, which is nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be recognized, because if you have, we're gonna take again the example of love, you know by now that there is nothing to be chased, that the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend, and very much what we're talking about here is like the love that you want to see within yourself reciprocated within the people around you, has nothing to do with the other people and everything to do with how much you're connected to this one, right? Money is the same. It's not about whether you make it happen out there, it's about whether you're connected to it, it's whether you're open to it. The abundance is right here, the abundance is everywhere. Do you see it? The matter is, are you connected or are you separated? Just like with love, just like with light, just like with everything. It's a good reminder to just be aware that it's not different, it's still energy. Again, I feel like it's important to say, because some of us are coming with some heavier backgrounds than others, but this is still energy, even if it can get us into our survival mechanisms, into our resistances, into our fears. It's still the same. It's still the same thing. There is no separation between, oh yeah, there's the spiritual world and then there's practical life. That's a belief, you know? And so this is very much what we're talking about. The level of abundance is very much about whether you feel connected to it, whether you feel open to it, or whether you have been separated from it. Again, no shame. It's just something to realize that if you are from a family that has been living in scarcity, then yes, it's likely that you've been separated from it without realizing it. What we're dealing with here, like we go Queen of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, it's the energy of knowing that you're loved and knowing that you're part of it all. Like the energy I was communicating with a few days ago is like the one of the Malachites, which is, I'm gonna just keep here because it's quite relevant to the topic here. It's when you know you're part of it. It's not a matter, putting stress aside, is when you go out in the forest, when you go out in nature, when you go out in the mountains, in the high mountains, when you go onto the beach, since for some of us it's holidays here, holiday season, do you feel the oneness? Do you feel that you're just one tiny piece of it all, and that you're just like a child to this whole world? Such scarcity wouldn't even exist in this paradigm, and this is very much what we're headed towards. It's not a matter of how can you create the money, how can you ensure the flux of energy. This is very fair, very understandable. This is third dimension thinking though. This is you trying to make it happen. Nothing wrong with that, but that's not what we're talking about here. Fifth dimension is when you realize that you're just part of it. It's like you being a finger to this whole entire body. There's no separation, so there isn't this idea of money and abundance and support. All of these themes is not just about money, even though money tends to be the most triggering one. It's not like all of it is being withheld somewhere that we don't have access to, because this is very much the most typical wounds that we tend to step into when there's this kind of separation. It's, I'm here, abundance is there, and there's no bridge. Or I am here, abundance is there, and I feel like they just don't want to share with me. Whatever the spin on the trauma is, basically, whatever your story is, this is eventually what we end up perceiving. There's abundance there, I'm here, there's no connection. It's there, I'm here, I don't have access to it. I'm not receiving it. There's no intention to give it to me. Whatever it is, the separation, this is what we're talking about. Here, I love the depiction of this card is, you're just one with the rest of the world. You're just one with nature, you're just one with it. And Six of Pentacles also refers to community, working together, things that tend to be the opposite of our traumas relative to this topic. Yeah, Four of Cups. This is what we're dealing with. This is the objective, which doesn't make much sense to the mind just yet. That's okay. It's just for your mind to start conceiving of the idea that it's actually possible, so as to start releasing a little bit of resistance to the work, basically. Because we're not, like, the only thing we're doing here is to facilitate the work a little bit, because it's already ongoing. If you're on this video, you're already doing it. So I'm not teaching you how to do it for now. It's more about, you see where you're going, you see like the end goal, if you want to consider it an end goal. You see the opened version, the open-hearted version of yourself. It's the one that realizes that it's just one with the whole world. There isn't you in a world, it's you are the world. You're just an individual piece of it. Just like nature treats you as a child. Did you know your body is a piece of ground when you think about it? What made up, more like this, what made up your body? Where do all of the elements that participated into the construction of your physical fleshy body came from? Came from the water you drank and the food you ate, mostly the food you ate. Where did this food come from? The ground. How did these plants and veggies and grow? By picking up nutrients from the ground. You're a piece of ground. You're like a piece of this world. Of course, the mind doesn't necessarily see it this way, but that's basically what you are. You're a piece of soil. You're a piece of this world. And you effectively will forever be a kid of it. You know, this is very much sending back to this imagery. The question of you being part of it and you being connected with it has never been put on the table. It's just the traumas that tend to get in the way and make us feel otherwise. And so that's what we're getting. Because 7 of Swords. Ooh, the 7 of Swords. Betrayal and people doing dirty, people stepping into their fears. We're talking about, what's that? The 5 of Wands, competition. We're dealing with an energy, and that's just collectively, yet again, it's very beneficial for you to understand how it resonates with you, for it to better assist you in giving you directions in your healing journey, for you to fully open up to it. But it's also important to realize that what you are doing is participating to the whole collective. It is untrue. You already know that by now, but it is untrue to think that you're just doing this in your own room, in your own corner. Although fear tends to get us to feel this way, which is totally fine. It's not true. The whole collective is ascending. We're building a whole new world here. You've been hearing about this new Earth, right? Yeah. New Earth, among many other things, is known as a world where abundance flows freely to all. That's one of the codes, so it's important, not just for you to understand and for you to take care of yourself, but also for you to realize that this whole world is lining up to functioning this way, which is very exciting when you think about it. The things we're leaving behind, these energies, if I had to describe it energetically, it's of course fear of not having enough, and as such antagonism, people trying to take advantage of others. I feel I am scared not to have enough, and so, because I myself feel disconnected, by the way, and so I'm gonna try to take the resources, or what I perceive as resources, of the other person, of the one the one around me. So we're talking about separation, we're talking about conflicts, we're talking about wars, you know, the usual. We're talking about narcissism to some extent. We're talking about, not to just some extent, we're talking about conflicts, competitions. This is the energy that's been going on around abundance and money, because us Leo humans tend to be very attached to money. This is like one of our, how we have built it, at least. This is one of our biggest points of referrals when it comes to abundance, one that we have created at least. And so there, you understand when you think about all of this, that we're talking about things that leave scars. We're talking about things that are very heavy on the nervous system. You know, being heartbroken and feeling like you will be left with no food, that's not the same degree of trauma. That's why, yet again, it's like, please give yourself some credit. The work that you're doing is sacred. The work that you're doing is awesome. I just feel like I have no words to describe how beautiful and important it is for you in your personal experience, for you to open up and feel free and feel happy and feel joyful and fully step into the heavens you came here to create, but also for this whole world Because, you know, it's just me showing up in these videos, it's just me showing my energy, lending my energy, and you're using this energy so as to uplift yourself, basically. But so do you with all of the people that surround you in your daily life. Whenever you open up, you become a watchtower to all of the people around. You're embodying the blueprints, you know? So that is very powerful and it's so sacred, but yet again, give yourself some credit because it's heavy on the nervous system. It's okay. I know that some of you here have the tendency to stress, there's anxiety. These are very common ones. That's why like the collective is being hit at full speed with that, because everyone has a story around this topic and it's very important to do something about it. You won't feel happy if you feel like you have to fend for yourself all the time, if you feel like you have to fight, if you feel like it's you against the world. It's like, that feels dreadful. That does not feel good. That needs to go. Yet again, kudos on you, because it means seeing the thing and doing the thing and going through the trauma and going through the nightmare, and it's not always pleasant. So that felt like that was a big thing that needed to be talked about. Spirit, is there something else that we're talking about today, or is that all? No, we're actually opening up onto what's to come, giving you a tease. Oh, okay. Whenever we're working through helicopter passing by, I'm going to take that as confirmation. I hope you don't hear that. It's pretty loud. But whenever we're working through things that feel very heavy emotionally, like we're transmuting a lot of stuff and it feels, you know, the body's going through it, Spirit likes to give us some heads up, some headlines, some inspirational quotes. Spirit loves to show us what it looks like at the end of the tunnel so as to motivate us. That's a motivation that some of us do need, and love that. Oh my god, I love that. Back of the deck energies. It's the Four of Wands, but in this deck, it's literally represented as a phoenix breaking its chains, which I found very symbolic in this case. We got the World also. It's just like a renewal, what it's like to live life without worrying about whether you're gonna have food in your plate at the end of the day. Please don't take it literally. What it's like for 2-year-old kids to be playing with their fellow friends and not have to worry whether mom and dad will be cooking for them and whether they will have a roof under which to sleep. You don't see kids having these kind of problems, do you? What it's like for you to not have to worry about these things because you know that you're taken care of because you are. What it's like for you to realize it, and so as to completely let yourself be taken care of. This is something, I'm hearing the message, it's like, it's allowing yourself to be put back in your place, back where you belong, which feels a little aggressive when said this way, but is actually very much accurate. It's like, you were never meant to make it work. You were born in a world that works on its own. The world spins without your interest. This star that we gravitate around shines without your consent. Heck, you're not even aware of making your own heartbeat beat. You know, like your heart beats without even your conscious intervention. And it's like, you were never meant to handle these things, which is a complete contradiction to how we would have been raised, to what the 3D and how the 3D works, better said. Feels like a complete contradiction, but energetically that's very much the case. You were born a child and you will forever stay a child of this world. You were never meant to handle these things. These things work on their own. Unless you feel inspired, but does it feel inspiring? So what it feels like to completely let it go and instead focus on what uplifts you, your creativity. It just creates so much room for activities, and it just opens the door to so many other things that just don't have the room to express themselves because part of us is always thinking about that. If you were to completely stop thinking about that because something within you fully integrates the fact that you're good, just like a 2-year-old kid knows that their mother and their father loves them very much, and so they go to sleep peacefully. That's the energy we're going towards. This is not a kid's luxury. We are told, obviously, as we grow up, you know, oh my god, no, this is a scarce world, so as you grow up you need to fend for yourself. This is just a kid's privilege. You'll forever be a kid to this world. The only thing that happens is that we grow up to forget about it, because so did our ancestors. And we're here to put things back in order, so to speak. It's like the five of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, where we are in the era where we are initiating, as a collective, the end of scarcity. And that is huge, but that hits real hard, because for centuries we've been living this way. So that's a massive shift, a more than welcome shift, but a massive shift. You know how generous you are with the people. You know that if you can, if it doesn't trigger you, you're always inclined to help people, to give them, you know. It's like, oh, you're overflowing. I don't know, I cooked too much today. I baked a pie, but I ain't got anyone at home to eat it. Why did I bake it? Because I just wanted a slice, but I baked a whole pie. Comes by someone who says, hey, it smells real good, I would love to have a slice of that pie. You would give it to them, and you know it, because you call it generosity. But generosity belongs to the 3D, you know. It's not just being generous, it's just being you. That is just following your inspiration. It's just being abundance. When you're overflowing with abundance, it's not generosity anymore. It's just, I have so much, I feel so good, I want the whole world to feel this way as well. This is very much the paradigm we're stepping into. And that requires the letting go of all the scarcity that we've been dealing with. So I just felt like, last card, the Fool, just went flying. The Fool, it's a new beginning, powerful new beginning. It's not just an ace, it's the beginning of the major arcanas. The beginning, of the arcanas, the major arcanas. It's a new beginning, it's a new paradigm, if you will. It's a new paradigm where you are put back in your place. You are put back in the role of the kid you've always been and have always meant to be. Which, again, don't take it literally or out of context, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're talking within the context of abundance and for your nervous system specifically. That's what we're talking about, being put in your place. This is not something that your nervous system should have to think about. This was never meant to be the case. And in the world, the new earth, the fifth dimension that we're creating, that we're attuning to, topics like scarcity don't make sense at all. It's just like, you would say that to a being who is used to vibrating in a fifth dimensional paradigm, and you're like, oh yeah, but what about, like, are you scared you're not gonna find what you need? And they would just be like, what the heck are you talking about? Just doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't. It only exists and makes sense and is perceived within the 3D, which we're getting out of. So that's it. Video is done. Honestly, I just feel like there isn't much to be said. More is like, yeah, the Hermit, the Eight of Swords. Again, a huge emphasis on give yourself some credit for doing this work, because you're not just doing this work for you, although this is the main focus. Obviously, it's for your own happiness, it's for your own sake, it's for you to fully step into your heart and your heavens, which is beautiful. But keep in mind that you're doing that for a plethora of ancestors and for a whole world. That's a lot. So it's okay if it feels heavy, it's okay if it feels overwhelming, it's okay if it feels scary. Give yourself some grace, okay? Stop being so hard on yourself. That felt good. That felt good, felt like it needed to come out. So yeah, I hope this was beneficial. I also am curious to know what is your feeling about this new format, because I feel like there's going to be a lot more videos of this style, like more channel messages on what's currently going on, so as to help us like go through that. Also think I'm gonna try experimenting other things, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care of yourself and you got this, okay?